I was just sitting here thinking about how life is right now. Like life feel like a repeated cycle. I know a lot of us feel this way. Um, I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm just looking at what a lot of people are talking about, and I felt as though like this is something that needs to be discussed. Like I'm 44 now, and I think about all the things that I did in life leading up to this age, which is a blessing. But life do get boring and start to become a little bit repetitive, like when you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And I realized that when I end up getting injured, I end up becoming, I don't want to say lazy, but I have a lack of drive. And it's like all we do today is now is basically sleep, get up, eat, go to work. And after you go to work, you come home, you might eat again, go to the gym, take a shower, right back to bed. It's like a repeated cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over again, to the point you start to feel content. Like you start to feel like, damn, this, I'm not feeling this. And I do remember a time, like I was just doing a renovation, and I had all the motivation in the world. But I have noticed that when you stop doing something for a while, you tend to get kind of like caught up in the trap of like, I'm just relaxing right now. Whereas though you don't have that drive. And it's kind of hard to get out of that drive of just being content with just doing nothing. And I know it's a mindset, but it's a mindset that's hard to shake when you've been doing it for a couple months. You know, I don't know. It's kind of weird because it seems like when you kind of really like think about life, it's weird because you'll look at yourself, like you'll remember yourself as a kid, and you didn't really have many worries, or should I say, most of us didn't have many worries. Didn't have to worry about bills. Did not have to worry about a lot of things in life. But you realize that the people that get a chance to understand life a lot more, and that's able to look back at their life, are the people that end up retiring and still have their health. They're able to look back and see all the hard work that they put in. That's if they lucky. People today are like working themselves into the ground to the point where as though they can't even make it to retirement because they so beat down. By the time they get to retirement age, they either done had to stop working prematurely due to an illness or sickness. Um, it's weird because cancer is running rampant right now, and I don't know what's going on. It's like a epidemic of cancer. It seems like now, it seems like these are the times now where people really do have to start taking their health more serious. Not to say that they didn't have to take it serious before, but the mental strain on you to have to get up, go to work in order to get a paycheck to pay your bills. And then when you pay your bills, at the end of the day, you're still looking around like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to probably want to take trips. You want to take your kids somewhere nice. If you're married like me, you know, like you want to do things with your family, want to go out on gatherings, but it seems like you're being humbled to basically stay put and stay stagnated because we're just working to the point where so everything is so high. By the time you buy everything from groceries to paying a mortgage, car notes, insurance, it's like, what are you left with? It seems like we're in an atmosphere now where as though if you're not extremely rich, like to a point where as though you have money coming in, where as though you don't even have to worry about what's going on. You don't have to worry about what the grocery bill is. You don't have a worry. But that's a very small percentage of people. And it's crazy because to make 100,000, 110,000 or whatnot, don't even stretch far like you used to. And you looking at people on Instagram or social media, making life look sweet and living a facade of thinking that that's how life's supposed to be. When they walking around and they driving all type of cars that cost more than a house, but then you seeing people being taken down for scamming. It goes to show you why so many people are checked out of the regular life, because everything is so inflated. It conditions people to think they have to do other things outside of going to work. And I get it. We do say hard work, you end up seeing results, but it depends. It depends what kind of hard work you're doing. Because all the hard work that you do in life don't always bring you the gratification or you able to see the real results, you know. Because you look at, just think about how many people today that you see retire, that you see make it to retirement age. And once they retire, you notice that they become bored. It's because if you work your whole life, think about this. If you work your whole life, meaning from most likely you started around 18, 19, maybe 20. In most cases, people start and work around like 19, 20, I believe, because I started around like 16, summer jobs. And you think about that, and you work all the way up into your 60s, some even 70s, and then you retire. Now think about this. You retire, and now you get those first 2 weeks you off, you having fun, it feel like vacation. And then the third week set in. Okay, I'm gonna have to make some things up what to do. And then all of a sudden, boredom really hits. You go from being retired to being lonely and retired, because if you don't set yourself up where as though you have a certain amount of money coming in a month and you retire with a nice nest egg, and meaning that you got money in the bank too before you retire, and you're able to take nice trips that you can enjoy, go on retreats, just do things, experience life in a different way, whereas though it gives you a different perspective of life. It'll make you be more like it'll make you look forward to working hard. But that's not the case for many. You have a very small percentage of people, and they even showed this in the statistics and the stats. When it comes to retirement, people don't have enough money to live off of retirement. And it's crazy because it's like we living in a rat race right now. A rat race where as though you don't even understand what direction that you're trying to go in, because it's undecisive. Like when you clock into work, or if you have to clock in, or if you sign into a computer, whatever you have to do, you on limited time. You definitely on limited time. You're on borrowed time, because any crazy mistake, or if your bosses have a change of heart about you or your productivity, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if the writing is on the wall that they're going to get rid of you, they're going to get rid of you, and then you're starting all over again. I seen a thing on a dude that was around 56 years old. He said he got laid off. Well, not laid off. He got fired, got let go. And they didn't give him an explanation, but they told him, well, do you have anything to say? Instead of just let him know why they got rid of him, they decided to, I guess, make an example or something, whatever he did. So he didn't get a chance to even ask him what he did, because part of his ego too was also he felt as though he felt offended that he got let go, and the way they told him, which I get. But at the same time, you realize in this world we live in, the job we don't own. We are not our job. We work these jobs to go home, to be able to enjoy life, or wherever time that you have left throughout the time of the day. Especially from the time you get up. From the time you get up, you're at work majority of the day, depending on how many hours you work. You got people going crazy over overtime. But overtime is lovely, but you think about it. If you really sit down and think about it, you robbing yourself of a lot of time. I get it that people say they need the money, which is true. I can't stop you from doing that. And I get it, because if I really, really need the money, then you have to do what you got to do. But it kind of makes you kind of wonder, when you work all this overtime, sometimes people really don't take into consideration how much money leaves in taxes when they work overtime. It's like you got robbed. So it makes you kind of wonder, like, what kind of life is set up for a lot of people to be able to walk around and enjoy what they're doing. It's a very small percentage of people today that enjoy waking up, going to work, and it's a reason for that. People are at a time right now, they're burnt out, and you sometimes want answers, but sometimes those answers are, it's written on the wall. It's letting you know that they're keeping you into this circle. It's a revolving door. If they get rid of you, they know you're going to go look for another job. They know you're going to set yourself backwards, because majority of the people in the world, not all, majority, don't have enough funds, they say, in the bank account to be able to withstand at least a couple months of living while they're looking for a job. And it's crazy that they say that, because I remember quitting a job. And how many years ago? It was maybe about like 12 years ago, about 11, 12 years ago. And by me having a rental property, I had enough rent that was paid from the tenants to the point I was able to start working for at least, I could have went at least 6 months, but I was looking for another job, and I went for another job, got hired, and realized after 3 months there, I didn't like it, which I had an option. I had an option to bounce, and I did. And I ended up finding another job in the field that I ended up going into. And it worked out good for me. And I'm still with that company till today. But it makes you wonder, how are we able to survive in this economy when so much is going on right now and the dollar don't stretch as far? It's scary, it's iffy. It just makes you wonder. So I just decided to come on here and vent and talk about the life journey, because right now I know a lot of us are bored right now with wherever we at right now. Not everybody, but a lot of us. A lot of us could snap our fingers and wish we can be in a different position or making way more money than we are making. And I'm not complaining, but you only start to see things differently when you start to see that you're being taken advantage of. And right now, you can definitely tell we are in the world of where the people that's in charge of taxes and the structure of the economy is, violating the people right now. Anytime you're paying all this money and overhead and it has nothing to do with your rent or mortgage, kind of makes you wonder. All right, man.